Also, you don't have to wear the headphones if you don't want to. I like to wear them just because it makes it feel more.
Yeah. You can hear. Can we hear ourselves?
Yeah, you can hear yourselves. You can hear me better.
But even better than real life.
Yeah. For me, it just makes it more. It's like gets really awkward when you don't wear them for some reason.
no, I
Every
get
time,
that.
I don't know why. I've done it without headphones, and it's just like really hard.
Yeah.
And let me know if that's a good volume.
You could turn down a little bit.
How's that?
That's good.
All right. And let me know when the mic's all set.
Yeah, bro. You got a little fuzzy thing right here.
Is it gone?
All right, my boy.
All right. Here we go. What's up, Marvin?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. You?
Good, man.
It's awesome.
It's been a minute, bro.
It has been a minute. It's been too long.
For real.
It's probably been like, what, 2 years?
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like 2.5.
And in that 2 years, were you touring at all?
Yeah, in the last 2 years, I feel like I've toured a little bit. I've been focusing a lot on my artistry side, on my own music, like original stuff. But I've toured a lot, usually in the summers. That's usually when I'm most busy on the road.
Yeah, where all do you go?
Man, everywhere, bro. Across the country. Yeah, out of
Across the
state.
country?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have a particular state you like more?
I think my favorite state to go to tour has probably been Florida, bro. It's just
Really?
it's just so nice.
I would not
bro.
expect you
like,
to be a Florida guy.
I think I'm honestly not. Like, I'm not like the type person to be like, oh, I'm trying to live in Florida, like, you know,
Right.
I want to move there. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly wouldn't want to live there because of how humid it is, and
Yeah, it's real bad.
it's just it's not it for me, I think. But I definitely like going to visit there. Like, if I could pick a vacation, it'd be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's nice to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And were you on like the coast when you would tour?
Yeah, so we would hit a lot of like, you know, like Miami or like, you know, some of the islands, like even around. But I don't even remember half the names, bro, to be honest with you. Because like like 2 years ago in the summer, we hit like 4 cities in Florida. You know, that was like a good chunk of because the tour was probably like 16 dates, you know, and we hit 4 cities. But there was 2 cities, we had 2 shows at each. And so like we'd be in Florida for, you know, a good week and a half, bro.
Yeah, do you ever miss home when you're out there, or is it too much fun?
Man, I miss home sometimes, bro, but like sometimes I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a city like that, when you're in like Miami or you're in like somewhere that's super nice.
Yeah.
The food is amazing, right? The vibe is amazing. Like
Food?
Oh yeah.
What kind of food they got?
In Florida, bro, all the Latinos I feel like live in Florida. So you got all the Latino food, like got the Puerto Rican, the Cuban, the Mexican food. You got like everything, bro. Everything. It makes sense to me because, you know, all the islands are like so close to Florida. So
Right.
you know, they just
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
they just pull up in a boat. They're like, hey, I'm here. Nah, I just kidding.
I bet the food's good. I just never thought about that.
Yeah,
That it would be all.
It's super good, bro. Super good. So anytime I'm in Florida, I try to. Well, I make this a habit across the board when I'm on tour, but especially when I'm in Florida, my focus is always to go to like all of the local joints. You know what I mean? Rather than like a chain or something. I'd rather go to
those are
local.
always better.
Heck yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
you got to go to the local places. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, bro.
And so then when you're not on tour, you're just making your music?
Yeah. When I'm not on tour, man, I like to work on my own music. I also do, you know, work on stuff for other people. Like some of my clients right now are independent artists. Some are smaller, some are bigger, different genres, but there are maybe like 2 or 3 that are, you know, signed artists. But yeah, aside of working for their stuff, I'm doing my own thing, man. Working on my music, writing, producing. Sometimes I might just be writing stuff or making stuff just for fun, and you never know what comes out of it, right? I'm not always intentionally like
Oh, I've been there.
in the studio.
And how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's usually what I'm doing, when I'm home. And then I DJ. A lot of people don't know I DJ, but
I didn't know you DJ.
Yeah,
were you DJing back when we were all hanging out, or
that would have been a little later, I think, when I started to really like do it for real. When I bought the turntables, I bought the board, I bought the.
you got your own?
I got my whole.
So you're
setup.
An independent DJ.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, man.
That's sweet.
Yeah, bro.
What do you do? Weddings?
So half of my stuff are actual shows with some of the artists I work with. So the reason why I started DJing, right, was because, for a lot of these especially hip hop, R&B, and Latin artists, I would DJ for. I would drum for. So that's what I was known for. And
I
that's
remember
what
those days.
I would mainly do that, right? Play drums. But there came a point where there'd be shows or dates where we could go to, and they could bring me, and they could afford it, but it wouldn't make sense to bring a whole drum kit, because you know how it is with that too. I don't come in a case with a guitar and I just unpack it and go.
Oh, I know. It's the whole car.
It's a whole car, bro, easily. So I would what ended up happening was, we realized that, like, look, there's some shows and some dates I can't come if I'm just gonna drum. So I'm like, well, I've always, seen people, DJ that also play drums, or DJ that play guitar, or I've seen that across the board. I don't know why, but I've seen that, and that kind of inspired me a little bit. And on top of that, because I produce music, it felt like it would be natural to be able to sync, like genres and scratch them, or like, fade them. You know what I mean? Because I know tempo well, because I play drums.
Yeah.
So I started incorporating that into my shows, man, and it was like, it was super fun, one, and then two, I think the artists that I worked with were like, oh, dude, like, you should keep doing this and get better and because they found value in it, right? And I also found value in it myself, aside of it being fun and just another thing to know, which is crucial in the music industry. Yeah, man. So that's kind of how I started DJing. And then I did shows first, but then I started taking on weddings, because I met, a lot of people on the road, and they're like, hey, do you know any DJs that would DJ my wedding? I'm like, yeah, I could do it. You know what I mean? So I got into that, and that's a whole nother game. But it's, if you know what to do and you just learn the ropes, like, you're straight. You're good.
Do you have your own sound system too that you bring when you DJ?
So I partially have a sound system. It's not like a full decked out one with, I don't have a mix board. I have like the cables, and I have like 2 speakers, but I don't have like the sub. Like, so if it's a big enough wedding, let's say like, it's a, I don't know, 250, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to use my setup, especially if it's outdoor, because it would work, but it just wouldn't push as much as I need to. So what I've done is just rent. I have a good friend of mine that has actually a shop here in Granville, here in Michigan. It's called Pro Audio. And they're super dope, man. Like, really good company, down to earth. They always hook me up. So yeah, that's where I go to get my equipment for the weddings.
Nice. And then I have a general idea of what DJing does when you do live music shows, but what exactly does that add to a live show?
Yeah. So like if I'm DJing for an artist, what does that add?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are you doing?
Well, so usually what I'm focused on the most priority for a DJ would be to run tracks live, right? Yeah. Typically, if I come and I'm drumming, I have a computer next to me where I can trigger them, and they just run through themselves. Sometimes I have a pause or whatever and pause play. But with this, we'll sometimes create the setup and the set list in a way where I can fade into them. So I do a lot of the mixing into the songs, or I'll feel the moment. You can feel the moment a lot more with DJing than drumming, because with drumming you just have a set list that you can't touch, right? Because you're already focused drumming over here,
right?
And with DJing, you can read the room, you can communicate back and forth with the artist. And feel if, okay, let's keep going with the same set list we had, or let's bring it down a little bit and then come back up, right? You can just feel out the room more. It gives you more of that freedom to be
So
able
if
to do
the
that.
crowd's getting hype, you can kind of make it a little bit louder.
Exactly.
If they're going down a little bit, you can bring it down.
Yep. And that's priority for a DJ. Like that's their main job. But then it would be like scratching, right? Like little effects like that, giving that scratch sound, of a DJ, and then also like just effects. I like to use a lot of effects too.
And you just add that live, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's gotta be fun.
Yeah, man. So it's
Dude,
fun.
I would be the guy who overdoes it for sure.
Oh, trust me, bro. There's plenty of DJs that overdo it.
Yeah.
I going into this, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be that DJ, bro. Like,
You're
the,
more self-conscious
with the horn. They're like, bro. I always hated, bro, when I go to shows and DJs do that. So like, I made that, my thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Well, I'm sure playing drums adds to that because as a drummer, you can't overdo it either.
Yeah.
You've gotta keep the beat, and you can't be doing fills nonstop because people do that too.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes across the board.
Yeah.
As a musician.
So I'm sure that bleeds over into DJing.
Yep.
So you got the idea of how to do that.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Because you're as a DJ, you're playing like actual songs. It's not like I'm a drummer, right, playing a beat, or I'm a guitarist playing, rhythm. No, it's like a whole song. So it's like you gotta know and understand that let the song do its job, and people will love that, right?
Yeah.
I think there's a balance. So I've learned a lot, man, from DJing over the last 2 years, and so it's been awesome. Yeah, man.
And what got you into from being a drummer into DJing?
Yeah. I think it was just, that, bro. Honestly, going from, like I said, like some of those artists we realized it just made more sense, to bring a DJ out. And instead of the drummer, which was me too, you know what I mean? And
do you ever do both?
It made more
shows?
sense. No, I can't do that. Yeah. There's no way. But
like switch songs, like do one song on drums or DJ. You just do one. Or
yeah, I just do it all on one or the other. Yeah,
Gotcha.
because I also do a lot of the live performance tracks for artists if I come out as a drummer. So I'm either doing it as a DJ or I'm doing it as a drummer. Yep.
And what about your rap career? What's that been like?
Dude, it's been great, man. It's crazy because I almost feel like the last 6 months I really haven't put out music since November, right? And so I feel like stuff has been, it's weird because I thought it was going a little slower because I kind of took a little break from it with a lot of stuff, life stuff, work stuff, music stuff, but just not related to my career, like rap career or artist career, you could say. There was just a lot of stuff going on, so I kind of took a little break from it. As I was still working on music on the side.
Yeah.
But I really wasn't making that known to people. A lot of people don't know I have a lot of music ready to go, but it's crazy though, man, because, and I say all that to say though that, I've had a lot of bookings, bro, like come up out of nowhere, just like, for the artist side of me, like a lot of people have asked like for me to come out and, perform. And so it's been crazy because I haven't been promoting that side of, of Stixx per se,
Yeah.
I've just been promoting the drummer side of me or the DJ side or the producer side because that's mainly the stuff I've been working on right now. But so yeah, man, I'm really excited though because I got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff ready to go. So yeah, this summer I'll be dropping some stuff. So I'm excited about that.
And when you do rap shows, correct?
Yeah.
When you're the one rapping.
Yep.
What is that like? Do you have to bring a band with you, or do you just bring your whole DJ setup and push play and go for it?
Well, yeah, that's the nice thing, man, is like there's so many ways to go about it.
Yeah.
It all depends on, and I'm sure you know this too, like the room. It depends on the venue, like, it depends on what they're trying to what they're looking for. That'll all determine, and that's all determined, like, beforehand, right? When we're talking details and figuring out, dates and venues and times and all. That's when, I determine and ask those questions, right? So I can be guided in the right direction, or else I won't know what to come with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last November, actually, when I released my last song, it was more of like a show, like a bigger show. And the venue was pretty big. And, so then I was like, okay, since I knew that I was, going to be performing with a bigger artist, I was like, all right, I got to bring it. So, and it made sense across the board because they were going to have the right speakers for it, right? The right, they had someone running sound. They had an outputs for a guitar, they had an outputs for a band if I wanted. So it just made sense. So I brought out my drummer, which is funny to say. I got my own drummer.
That is
being
funny.
a drummer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was interesting navigating through that. But and then all guitar. So I just brought like, a little piece, 2-piece band.
Yeah.
And the rest were all tracks because it is hip hop or Latin music at the end of the day, and just more track heavy.
Right.
But it's still really dope to bring live like musicians to and add it. It just gives it a whole nother vibe, bro.
Yeah, just more energy.
Heck yeah, bro.
And then you got like your homies up with you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I'm playing. I could probably never do a show with just bass.
Right.
But
maybe there's a way. You never know.
Yeah, it should be the first.
Right.
But it is fun when you're up with the group, and
yeah.
I don't know, it just brings a different vibe, like you said.
Right.
When did you first realize that you could rap?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like easily, bro, it was like towards the end of my like high school career, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when I was like, because I would just mess around more than anything, right? I wasn't like trying to be a rapper.
Right.
I wasn't trying to sing. I wasn't trying to do any of that. But I think what like opened my mind to it a little bit was just the fact that, music is generational in my family. My grandpa, my great grandpa, my dad, they all sing, they all play different stuff. And
I know your dad can play.
Yeah. He can get down with it, man. But yeah, man. So I think that's what kind of opened up my mind to that maybe possibility. And like I said, I was just doing it for fun though, right?
Yeah.
I was just trying different things, and then I think it was, what was it? It was a song called Radar. Was one of my first ones. Not my first one,
that
but
you wrote.
That I like wrote, and then I had a friend in the studio, and then he hopped on it because he thought it was good, and that kind of like sparked a light, like kind of sparked something. I was like, man, dude, I think I should do this, like, or give it a shot. And so I dropped, I think 2 or 3 like in a year, and I had really good feedback, especially for it being my first like few singles out. And I think that like really, made me want to push towards it. And I think the other thing, man, was just the fact that on the faith side of stuff, I looked at it as an outlet also to be able to vocally like express, my faith, and to reach people, like, even if it was just to start with friends and family or people that know me, to tell them about my story. It was a way to tell my story, but also a way to, like reach people, right? And talk to people about my faith rather than having to do it like one-on-one. It's kind of a cool thing you can do with music. And so, I looked at it as an outlet to do that, which was super dope, on top of me loving music,
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, perfect combo.
Yep. And what, have you been a believer your whole life?
No, I was not.
What? That actually is news to me. I didn't know that. I thought you were.
Nah, I wasn't, man. I accepted Jesus into my life when I was I would have been 11. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was 11, so I was young, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of like one of those, like, I wasn't, but it's also I didn't know much.
Right. Yeah.
Because I was too young. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's when I accepted Jesus into my life. That's when I got baptized as well. So yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
And then you've just been a believer the whole time after that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we all, especially
we all
at that age,
little ups and downs.
Especially at that age, bro.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like, 11 or 12, or you're in those early teens, like, and you're jumping into something like this. It's kind of like one of those things, like, it's expected probably to have some ups and downs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just because of, dude, like, school, bro, like school, work, like life, as a teenager. I mean,
trying to fit in,
or just trying different new things, different things or whatever.
Right, because your faith, at least for me, it's like my faith isn't established.
Yeah.
So, because I would say I got accepted Jesus around the same time, 10, 11, and those like early teens. But because I'm not super rooted because I'm still a teenager.
Yeah.
I think I would try to find happiness and joy in other things. So I get that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, bro. I was in the same boat.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. But
I think it's just a musician's.
It's gotta be.
Life.
It's gotta be, bro.
Because we're not the only two that have done that.
Yeah.
And so we know the rapper. What happened, or how did you get into drumming? Was that just something you were born coming out of the womb doing?
Man, bro, I wish. I feel like I'd be in a whole nother like level, bro. You know what I mean? If I would have been like one of those like kids that started like super young. Like you'll see those videos, right? Like on YouTube or whatever, or on Instagram. It'd be like a kid like 2 years old, 3 years old, prodigy, bro. Like you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, I get that with the bass too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, especially that one kid that plays bass.
Yeah, I know. I can't think of his name. I know who you're talking about though.
Dude. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Gosh, dude. I'm like, man, where are these kids coming from, bro? Like, why couldn't I come through like from where they came from?
I always thought you did though, because
thanks, man.
At least I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to get in trouble. But where I was around, it was like there was nobody who drummed like you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just like you were blowing everybody out of the water.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, I mean, I can't take, and like I can't say that it wasn't, like something that was there, because I also do believe firmly for sure that it was definitely like a gift from God, bro. You know, and it wasn't like a coincidence that it also was generational, and that I was like it's a blessing, and I still think about it to this day, like how I was the first generation in a sense to take music and not glorify the world through it anymore, right? And kind of like cancel that generational curse per se, and like start honoring God through it and using it to actually like just be a light in the world and not make a bunch of trash music, right? That's really doing nothing good for people. So yeah, bro. With drumming though, I started actually when I was 11 too. So how that happened was I accepted Jesus into my life that year, got baptized. So I accepted him in like January or February. Then I got baptized in the summer.
Smart.
Yeah, for real. And then in the late fall, my dad, which he was the worship director at the church I was at the time, he brought that up. He's like, hey man, like I have we got a guitar, a bass, and a drum kit. You down to like learn any of these? Because at that, bro, it was just him.
Yeah.
At church, it was just him. It was he didn't have a lot of help at that time, and it was a super small Pentecostal church, like Spanish Pentecostal. And so I took that as an opportunity, man, and I'm like, yeah, it'd be super fun. And I've always loved the drums. Especially as a younger kid, every young kid just stares at the drums, bro, because all you hear is just noise. You know what I mean? No, but aside of that, though, for real, bro, I really wanted to learn drums, and I think that when he brought that up, it was like, I was like, yes, you know what I mean? Definitely. Like,
is there anything that made the drums stand out to you other than just the noise?
Yeah, I think, bro, like the rhythm of it, because I feel like the drums really are like almost like the heartbeat, you could say, to the music in a sense. Yeah, like they're like the foundation of the music, no matter what genre, because they give you the rhythm to dance to or to move to, or you know what I mean, to bob your head to. And so it's like, I've always thought that was so cool, and I've always just loved the sound of drums. Like aside of the noise stuff, I genuinely always loved like just the sound, right, of drums, because they all have their own sound, you know what I mean? Then there's I feel like there's so many type of drums really out there, right? Yeah. And so yeah, man, I was like super down. My dad was like, okay, well, my dad wasn't the best at drums, which is funny. I picked the instrument that he wasn't the best at. like he knew it,
Yeah.
but he could only teach me like the very basics, bro. That was all about he knew. And so when he, you know, brought it up, I was like, okay, I'm down. He was like, all right, well, I only know the basics, so you're gonna have to like either teach yourself or I can find, because he had musician friends, right? Or we could get someone to help, you know, help him out. But nah, bro. It was crazy because after he taught me the basics, I ended up like teaching myself. So I loved going to concerts. One, two, I always loved going and watching just like some of the friends that he, you know, played with or jammed with were great. And so I'd go and just shadow them in a sense. And
Some of the drummers.
some of the drummers,
Okay.
yeah. And so that was where I got a lot of my you could say my style of playing was from watching people and also going to concerts. And my style of playing really does come from all the genres I listen to, because since I was a kid, I loved listening to everything, bro. Like everything. Right?
That's the best way to learn.
Yeah,
if
bro.
you can implement all types of genres into your playing,
Dude.
it's like a one of a kind style.
One of a kind style, bro. It's not this generic, you know what I mean? Kind of style. And so bro, that's really how that came about, how drumming started, and I was pretty much self-taught. Later on down the road, I got classes from a few like super dope drummers that I really looked up to, and I was like super honored to be able to do that. But it was just like a one-time class opportunity with some of these guys that I grew up listening. But that was how the drumming came, bro. And I actually after I left that, because I did leave that church at some point, me and my dad did. We went to nothing bad happened. It was just time.
Yeah, sometimes it's time.
Yeah. So, and then after that, what happened is he started going to another church because he had got remarried, and then I started going to Central Wesleyan, which is in Holland, pretty big church, and they had like a middle school, little like youth group type thing they had, and that's where I started to like play with a band, right? And that was when I learned how to play with a click and like metronome, learned how to play with a guide and people in your ears.
Play with the ears,
learned what that was. And it was crazy because I, even at that little church, but we didn't have that. Like, we played with a wedge with a monitor, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't have no click, no guide, nothing like that. So it was definitely new for me, but I'm grateful, man, because I learned all those things at such a young age. Right, that as I grew and learned and played with more people and got more advanced and played with, and started playing like bigger stuff, it was like super useful to be able to have that, bro. So yeah, man, that's how that came about. But I didn't start doing shows till I was 16. So when I was 16 is when I started doing shows.
So about 5 years into playing.
Yep.
That's a good amount of time.
Yeah, man. And it was like small shows, right? But it was still like shows, and it was like super exciting. Like, being a teenager and being able to say like I'm doing shows. You know what I mean? It was always super cool, man.
It is.
And shout out my boy Kiwi. He was the one that actually brought me out for the first time. That was the first show I ever played was with him, and it was hip hop. And at that point, I had been actually going to the Edge hip hop church over here in Grand Rapids.
You were there for a while, weren't you?
I was there for a minute, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Quite a few years. And he was really one of the first, people to bring me in, bro, like there and, teach me some of the, the ropes of, the music industry and guided me in the right direction. But yeah, he really loved how I played. I think a lot of them liked how I played. And at that young of an age, I was like down for whatever, right? I was like, I don't care. I'm coming. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, I started like, playing the shows with him, and then everything just built on top of each other. Like it was either, I'd meet someone or he'd meet someone or he'd connect me, or the person I'd meet at a show or a festival or whatever, they'd connect me, and then literally do like God started making all these connections for me. And I never had to promote myself. I never, like, I'd post stuff, right, on my social media. Yeah. but I never had to promote myself. I never like any work I ever got or any shows or opportunities with music, they never came from myself. You know, they were all from God, and that was the craziest part.
Yeah, I think especially when you put in all that practice too. Yeah. One person sees you playing, they bring you out to a show, and it's like you don't know who's going to be there.
Right.
Even if it's a small show.
Yeah.
And they see you playing, then it just goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. So it was super dope, man, just to see that, and just kind of like watch it all kind of unfold, right? Because I feel like that is what my drumming career has been. Just like me watching it unfold. Like, you know, obviously I put in the work and do my thing that, you know, as best as I can. But I would be very wrong to say that I, you know, got here myself or I promoted myself, right? Like, nah, dude, it was one, and God that opened those doors for me, but it was also two, the people that believed in me and also already had me working for them that wanted, you know, they would make those connections for me or they'd put my name out there. And a big thing, bro, in my opinion, though, that really goes into being in the music industry, not even as an artist, but also especially as an artist, but like I think as a musician, because we're on that topic, is, dude, just being like a good hang, bro. Like, you know, it's super 100%. Like,
you do not want to be the guy that can't hang without people.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Because you got to have the relationship outside of just the music.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, bro. And I always tell people, like, you know, people that are trying to come up and they'll ask me like, how did you get there? What can I do? Or I always tell people, bro, like, number one advice is just be genuine. Just be just be you.
Yeah. Don't try to pretend.
It's not gonna work. And there's a saying I feel like in the industry, especially the Christian industry, is like real recognizes real. And I think that goes super far, bro. Because I think that you could even connect that in real life. Like, real does recognize real. You can tell when someone's trying too hard. You can also tell, though, when someone's being ingenuine. And I think that's crucial in the industry, but just across the board. You could take that into any industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you're not genuine, you're not a good hang, you're not a good laugh, you're not you can't just like literally hang out and talk and have a normal conversation with someone. It's not going to work out. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, bro. So
I would have that when I would play. I'd have drummers that were friends.
Yeah.
And then I would play with drummers that were better, for lack of a better term, than them. Yeah. But I would play better with the other people because they were actually fun to hang out with. I knew them on a personal level. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like people can feel that when you're playing it too. Yeah. When you're locking in when the bass and drummer are locking in on more than just the beat, it's like there's that friendship connection in there too.
Right.
It just gives it a whole better feel.
I agree, bro. 100%. Especially because you and I played before together, and it was always a vibe, bro.
It was.
Yeah.
It was short-lived, but it was cool.
Yep. So yeah, no, definitely, man. That's I think that's what got me to where I am in my drumming career, and it's still, I'm still. It's funny because I'm still young. Like how I'm 24, so it's like it's crazy how much I've done already and where I'm at 24, and just how much more there's left because there's like way more that I can see ahead, and obviously that's up to God, but a lot of opportunities always coming up, and I have some bigger stuff in store that that I'm excited about, and I think that, like I said, none of those things could have ever happened without God, the people that I work with, the relationships I've built, and just trying my best to be better every day, but also just being genuine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro? Just being real.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's a perfect place to end this episode.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is you say you're young at 24, dude. I'm 30 now.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Bro, that's wild, bro.
I know.
Hey, you still look young, bro. You look good, man.
Thank you. The past couple of years, to be honest, I've been taking better care of myself, eating healthy and exercising more.
Yeah. Getting them gains.
Yeah,
you
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something we talk about quite a bit on this podcast because I have mostly guys come on. So it's always like working out and eating. That's just the thing these days.
That's
it's funny.
Hilarious, dude.
But anyway, thanks for coming on, man. I thought it was a great conversation.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
Bro.
Definitely have to have you on again sometime, but I know you're a busy guy. So thanks everybody for listening and have a blessed week. Bye.
Peace.